All right, today we're going to do a install video on Dalton Clutch Kits for 20 and newer Turbo RZRs and Pros. Before we get too far into it, Hunterworks belts, best on the planet. Check them out. Make sure you subscribe and like so you know when we've got new videos. So a couple weeks ago, I did a generalized Dalton clutch kit for primary clutches because the process, as a general rule, hence generalized, is pretty much the same whether it's turbo, non-turbo, or whatever. And so today we're doing a little bit more specific video on the other half of this clutch kit, which is the secondary. Now the 2020 Pro, the Dalton kit for it gets a replacement helix. 21 and newer, there's no helix in the kit because it doesn't need it. Polaris changed the helix up in 21 and a lot of other stuff in 21. And so it just doesn't need it. But the process is the same whether you're working on 20 and taking the helix out or 21 and just changing the spring out. So you got to take the helix out. So all that to get to this point, we got a secondary. We do not have a turbo in the shop presently. Take the clutch cover off. The center bolt comes out. There's some little shims underneath the washer. Make sure you get them all. Pull that out, one deal. This thing slides off. If you were to grab outside half, it'll twist off. So keep that in mind. So take it off with two hands. Each half of this clutch is balanced, so it's not critical if you don't get it back to the same place, but I just always think it's a great idea. Take a Sharpie and put you a couple of black marks so that it can go back in the same place that it was, okay? So you're gonna sit your clutch on your bench. Take the outside half off. That leaves you the back side, the helix, and the spring. Hopefully you have one of Hunterworks spring compressors, and you're going to take it and turn it upside down on the spring compressor. This particular setup, you do not use the bail because the bail will be over the top of the bolts. So we're going to use the thick washer. Some of these compressors are going to come with this whole square puck. We're just using double duty for removing clutches, and I actually use an old roller. But the only purpose of it is keep the handle from scratching up the handle. Okay? Give it a good whirl. All right, all you need to do is hold pressure. Now, I'm going to use an impact. The thing is that there's no good way to hold this clutch. I mean, I guess you could dream up of a million things. I'm an impact user for a lot of things. It makes it easy. These are torqued in at 32 foot-pounds. I'm not 100% sure if this particular secondary is off a Ranger XP1000 or a turbo that I bought a while back. Clutches are identical. The only difference may be that yours has Torx head bolt and this has 5/8. There's very little difference between XP1000 Rangers and these turbos. The operation is exactly the same, so just run with me. So I'm taking my impact to 5/8. All right, I'm gonna take these and set them aside. Take the pressure off. Why is the compressor so long? Because we use it on primary clutches as well. All right, take the secondary off, set it aside, take this little spring cup. Now, like I said, depending on which kit we're installing, if this is 20 Pro, you're going to be replacing it with the Dalton helix and the spring, so you're going to be putting both back in. If it's 21 or newer, whatever kit comes with, you know, sometimes we get our years mixed up, but point is, if it's just a spring, that's all we're doing. So for this video, I'm actually putting the OEM back because it's the exact same process. So we put our helix down, put our spring in. I'm going to call this a spring cup. Put it in the correct way, and then take your secondary, slide it back down, kind of halfway line up your holes down through there. Once again, washer, spacer, and now we finally got contact with our spring. You come on down and that's probably a very good practice not to send it on home, just get extremely close, because you've got to line up your bolts with the helix, okay? And if you just send it home, it'll tighten up against it. It is never a bad idea. I don't have any, yes I do. It's never a bad idea to use some blue Loctite on these. For instructional purposes today, I'm not. This one's come back apart for another day. So we'll just pretend we put some blue Loctite on it. A lot of pretending in our videos because we use our clutches for so many things, and we do not want to have to bust Loctite all the time, especially the clutch primaries with green and red. All right, so get these started with your fingers. You'll have to move it around a little bit, ensuring that it's in there, and then you can come on down. Now, controversial issue. This is torqued 32 foot-pounds. The problem is how you're going to hold it. Now, I'm a big impact guy. This is absolutely way overkill for this particular application. A little 1/4-inch impact with that on there would probably be a better one. The point is, please use some finger control or devise you a way to torque this 32 foot-pounds. Me, myself, I promise you, if it's mine, I'm using this because I've been doing it a long time and I got some finger control. You want to make it just contact first. Get it even. Woo. Get it even. And now we can hit it. All right, that is a 1,500 foot-pound impact, so that's why I didn't let it hammer it home. All right, take your secondary off, and this thing is full of fingerprints. Old cameraman said, hey, what about wiping this thing down? I sometimes forget I'm not actually putting them back on the vehicle. This is certainly a dirty rag, but get a clean rag and some brake clean and spray it. You, again, use a clean rag and wipe these belt surfaces down really good. Get all your greasy fingerprints off of it. Wipe this side down, and then once you get it wiped off, don't touch it again. Find your alignment marks. On this one, you can touch that helix because the belt doesn't touch there. There's our mark. There it is. And line them back up. There, we're lined back up. Go reinstall it on your vehicle, and you are done. So hopefully that's easy as pie. But if you got any questions, of course, Todd at Hunterworks.com. Belt, subscribe, and like. Thanks.